Gino Pettis Adventures. I'm Gino. These are still my adventures. And today is the first day of the rest of your life. Well, here we are. Part 3 of how to move to Colombia. So in part 1, I told you how to get here to Colombia, what you're going to need to do. Part 2, I told you what to do after you arrived. And part 3 is going to be an extension of part 2. In part 2, I told you to get out and about and check your houses out, see what you find. I also said look and try to derive what kind of visa you're going to require, or what kind you're going to try to get. And I hope you've done that. And I hope while you did that, you were having some fun. And I hope you got to see a lot of Colombia, because that's what it's all about. So tell me now that you're, now that you've been in the country for a while, how is it? Do you like it? Is it what you thought it was going to be? You're struggling with your Spanish? That's okay. As long as you're struggling, as long as you're working on it. So what did you do? You went out, you found a place, maybe you didn't find a place. Maybe you need to look more. You checked out your visas and you figure out, well, I'm going to get a retirement visa. Okay. Or I'm going to get a conjugal visa because I'm married to a Colombian. Okay. So what do we do now? Well, what we do now is we just sit down a minute and we try to digest all that we've seen in Colombia in the past few weeks or months or however long we've been here, and decide, is this really what I want to do? And don't kid yourself. I mean, if you told all your friends that you were moving, you're packing up and you're moving to Colombia, and you don't want to move here, don't do it. Don't do it. This isn't for the weak of heart, faint of heart. Take some cojones to move here. But it's well worth it. It's well worth it. As you noticed, everything relative to what we do is cheap. Now, that's a mistake that you can make too after you get here. You can think in terms of only US dollars, and that's liable to get you in trouble. But anyway, that being said, let's back up. You figure out what kind of visa you want. Have you found somebody to help you with that visa? Because there are things like that people don't understand, or I didn't understand. I never had a document apostolized in my life. I had no clue what that was. And that's basically, if you have a birth certificate in New Mexico, you have to go to the Secretary of State's office, and they put a stamp in it guaranteeing that that came from the state of New Mexico. Even though it's a certified copy from the state of New Mexico, it has to be apostolized. So all of the documents that you're going to need to bring with to get a visa are going to have to be apostolized. We should have probably thought about that before we came and visit, but it's okay. That's just one of those steps. There are 2 or 3 companies that I know of that can help you with your visa. I have a young lady help me with mine. Unfortunately, she doesn't speak any English, and that will be a problem for some of you. You can try to get your visa on your own. That's really difficult because they ask you for things that you don't really know what they are. I mean, I didn't know what they were. My stepdaughter didn't know what they were, and she's a Colombian. So I would recommend finding people that do visa work and look around, hunt around. There's not a lot of them, but there's probably 5 or 10. And what I will do is I'll put a link as soon as I have them, which I don't have them right now, but I'll put links in this video and in the future videos on where to look for visa help. And it's a little more expensive that way, but it's worth every nickel, because I have a cedula. You have to have a cedula. If you don't have a cedula, which is the equivalent of a Social Security card / ID from the United States, if you don't have a cedula in Colombia, there's a lot of things you just can't do. You can't buy a car. You can't buy a motorcycle. Some places won't even rent you a place to live if you don't have a cedula. So it's really important that you get, you pick your visa, get some help with your visa, and the whole process shouldn't take more than 60 days at the max. Probably 30 days for sure. And don't pay them all the money up front. Just pay them half. If they want all the money up front, no, that's a red flag. They might need more money at the end when they're actually going to get the document. That's okay. I mean, I've done that. But by that time, I trusted the lady that was doing it. And just be careful. And it's just like I said in the very first video. Don't be stupid. You wouldn't waltz into an attorney in the United States and give them all your money. Why would you do it here? And they don't have to be attorneys. They just have to be well-known immigration document preparers. They don't even have to be attorneys. So there you go. Have you found a place that you really like? Will they let you lease it less than a year? That's pretty important. If you can go month to month and live someplace for a month or 2 or 3 until you get your bearings and see if you really like that place, it's better than getting locked into something for a year. So start your visa application. Well, number 1, make damn sure this is what you want to do. Number 2, get your visa application started. And number 3, lock yourself up a place to live. If you stay here for 60, 90 days and leave the country and come back for another 90 days, you will know pretty much whether you want to live the rest of your life here or not. If you enjoy it or don't enjoy it. It's different. It's Colombia. It ain't America. But it's a nice place. And it's inexpensive. And as of the date of this video, the political climate is wishy-washy, but so is it in the United States. So we can run, but we can't hide, but it's a good place. It's a good place to live. If you're young and want to come to Colombia, the difficulty is going to be, unless you're a trust fund baby, is working in Colombia and making a living. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, other than if you're a digital nomad and you work on the computer, you work online. You can do it that way, but to actually get a job in Colombia is going to be difficult. Maybe I just haven't looked in the right places. So make sure you want to be here. Get your visa rolling. Find a place to live. And then do not sell all your stuff in the United States. Put it in storage. If you have a house, rent it. And come down here and live a year or 2 and see if you want to live here happily ever after. So we'll see you on number 4 with more tips and tricks. So this is Gino. First day of the rest of your life. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Signing off. I will see you on the flip side.